plans for a high-speed HS3 rail link in the north of England have moved a step closer after a report by the boss of the HS2 scheme, Sir David Higgins. Sir David said better rail links in northern England were desirable and possible after being asked to look at ways of maximising the benefits of HS2. Journey times from Manchester to Leeds could be cut from 48 to 26 minutes. The government says it will now produce a strategy looking at options, costs and a delivery timetable for HS3. An interim report will be produced in March. The east-west improvements backed by Sir David would be in addition to the north of Birmingham Phase 2 of HS2, which will see a Y-shaped route going from Birmingham to Manchester and Leeds. Sir David did not make specific proposals for how to achieve faster times, but says a mixture of current and new projects would make them possible. He said improvements to rail services across the Pennines between Leeds and Manchester could involve a doubling of trains per hour, with either a new high-speed track and tunnel under the Pennines, or an upgrade to the existing line. This, suggested Sir David, should be the first step in a clear strategy to address poor connectivity across the north from Liverpool to Hull, as well as to Sheffield and Newcastle. He told BBC Breakfast, "If you look at the two huge cities, Leeds and Manchester, less than 0.5% of the people in each city travel to the other city to work. So in this competitive world, access to skilled people is crucial for cities to compete, and a good, reliable, fast rail service will improve that." Stop HS2 campaign manager Joe Rukin said HS3 would be even more expensive per mile than HS2. He added that Sir David's report showed the original plans for HS2 weren't thought through properly. But Sir David said he could not see how HS3 could cost more than HS2. It will be a combination of upgrading existing lines, also some new tunnel, he said. There's no reason why it would be more expensive. The announcement is a long way shy of any solid commitment to speed up trains across the Pennines. The government has just asked for some possible routes and prices. A cynic might say it's all good publicity in the run-up to an election. And one industry expert told me HS3 could cost £7 billion. But that's not to say that it won't happen. There is real momentum now behind the campaign to help England's great northern cities compete with London. If you've ever caught a train between, say, Hull and Liverpool, you'll know how frustratingly slow and often overcrowded it can be. It doesn't exactly oil the wheels of industry being stuck on an overcrowded old chug-chug for hours on end. Londoners are about to enjoy their brand new £16 billion Crossrail train line, due to start running in 2018. Many feel the North is long overdue for the same kind of help. Northern Powerhouse. Chancellor George Osborne said in June that a high-speed rail link between Manchester and Leeds could help to create a northern global powerhouse, and asked Sir David to consider how to improve east-west connectivity. In his report, Rebalancing Britain, Sir David said, "I firmly believe that substantially improved services east-west across the north are not only desirable, but possible. We need to turn the aspiration into a practical plan." He said the HS2 project was being seen as a catalyst for a strategy for transforming Britain's transport system. Faster and less congested services would make it easier for cities in the north to pool the skills, talent and other elements they need to thrive, Sir David added. Under the plans analysed by Sir David, a mixture of current proposals for rail upgrades and further work, including electrification, could cut journey times from Liverpool to Leeds to an hour. More journeys between Leeds and Birmingham, Leeds and Sheffield Meadowhall, York and Birmingham and Nottingham to Birmingham could also be reduced by a half or more. Around 30 minutes would also be cut from journeys between Manchester and both Hull and Newcastle. Sir David said, "This initial work needs to continue, and intensify, to identify the best route, how and when it would be constructed, and its cost. This is as important to the north as Crossrail is to London." The Chancellor has set up a new body called Transport for the North, made up of the main northern city regions, which will work with the UK government to produce a strategy for the region. Prime Minister David Cameron said improving connectivity and reducing journey times was crucial to the government's long-term economic plan for the north of England. He added, "I welcome Sir David Higgins' report, which will help our work to create a northern powerhouse and ensure that HS2 delivers the maximum economic benefits." Estimated journey times under HS3. Leeds to Manchester, 26 to 34 minutes. Currently at least 48 minutes. Liverpool to Leeds, around 60 minutes, currently at least 1 hour 28 minutes. Manchester to Hull, under 1 hour 30 minutes, currently at least 1 hour 51 minutes. Manchester to York, under 60 minutes, currently at least 1 hour 14 minutes. Manchester to Newcastle, under 2 hours, currently at least 2 hours 22 minutes. In the report, Sir David also recommends sticking with the plan to split the HS2 line in two after the London to Birmingham stage is completed. An eastern leg will stretch from Birmingham to Leeds, via the East Midlands and South Yorkshire. A western leg will run from Birmingham to Manchester, via Crewe. Sir David also recommends a northwest England hub for HS2 is built in Crewe, saying it is the best way to serve not just the local region, but also provide services into the rest of the Northwest, North Wales and Merseyside. Transport Secretary Patrick McClellan said, "Our northern cities are on the brink of an economic transformation, and today's report underlines how we can secure this by bringing those cities together to maximize the benefits of good transport links." He said, "You've got the same sort of population that you've got in London, but it hasn't got the same interconnections and the same transport system that London's got. And if we're going to enable the North to compete, we're going to have to be very bold on our investment for transport." Analysis. Spencer Stokes, BBC Look North reporter. The announcement from Sir David Higgins is partly a reaction to critics of HS2 who claim that the high-speed line risks sucking economic growth in the north towards London, rather than spreading it evenly across the country. It's likely that the faster trains in the north of England wouldn't run on completely new lines, but a mix of upgraded and new tracks. And whilst the proposed HS2 route could have a maximum speed of 225 miles per hour, the suggested speed for the new Transpennine link would be around 125 miles per hour. That's the same as trains currently running on the west and east coast main lines. Rail services across the north are considerably slower than those in the south. A journey between Leeds and Manchester currently takes on average 55 minutes for a distance of 42 miles. In comparison, passengers can get from London to Reading in 25 minutes, a distance of 36 miles. Mary Gray, Labour's Shadow Transport Secretary, said, "Labour supports high-speed rail to tackle commuter overcrowding and to improve connections between cities in the North and Midlands and London. We have repeatedly said we need value for money for the taxpayer and to improve the existing plans to maximise the benefits for the whole country." Mr. Cameron would be judged on his actions, not words, she said. Construction on the £50 billion HS2 project is due to start in 2017. Phase 1 involves a new high-speed line from Euston in London to Birmingham, with an expected completion date of 2026. Phase 2 was originally scheduled to be completed in 2032-33, although Sir David is keen for this date to be brought forward. Objectors to HS2 have said the scheme will cause an unacceptable level of environmental damage, loss of homes and disruption to many communities. But in January the Supreme Court rejected a legal bid to force further scrutiny of the first stage of the government's plans.